Okay, good evening, everyone. It's 7 o'clock, and we have a public hearing scheduled for 7 involving 107 Old Dick Road. Sue, would you read the public hearing notice?
Please take notice that the Town Board of Wilton, New York, County of Saratoga, will hold a public hearing pursuant to Chapter 47, Buildings Unsafe, of the Code of the Town of Wilton and Town Law, Section 130. Said public hearing will be in relation to the manufactured home, all accessory structures and property at 107 Old Dick Road, tax map number 140-2-16.2, which has been deemed to be uninhabitable structures and unsafe site pursuant to inspections and reports of the Code Enforcement Officer of the Town of Wilton and pursuant to Resolution 121 dated July 7th, 2016, adopted by the Town Board. Said public hearing will be held on Thursday, August 4th, 2016, at 7 p.m. at the Wilton Town Hall, located at 22 Traver Road, Wilton, New York. At that time, all persons will be given an opportunity to be heard.
Okay, at this time I'll open the public hearing. Has anybody been signed up to speak? Julie, is anybody? No?
No.
Okay, at this time now, I'll close the public hearing.
Hang on.
Oh,
That might be public,
no, this
public
is just
comment.
dealing with this, what she just read about
The Gick
107
Road.
Gick Road. Okay, then I'll close the public hearing. Call to order the regular town board meeting. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Supervisor Johnson?
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Stryker?
Here.
Councilwoman Klepetar?
Here.
Councilman Lamb?
Here.
Councilman McEachran?
Here. Okay, this part of the meeting is the public comment period. Julie, you good? Okay. The first speaker is Betty Gallagher. Betty, would you come up here and speak into the mic, please? Thank you.
Good evening, council members. A couple of days ago, I never dreamed I would be standing here to talk about chickens. My name is Betty Gallagher. I live at 27 Loughbury Lake Road on 3.5 acres in one of the few historic farmsteads left in the town of Wilton. My family has lived there for 55 years. Our historic farmhouse has been here since 1810, over 200 years old. Our fervent hope is that 200 years from now, this farmhouse will still be here to remind Wilton of their historical heritage, and to hope that our work may prevent this beautiful house and property from being a casualty of modern building trends, being plowed under for a grand mansion or a dozen or so smaller homes. We are deeply attached to the goals of living simply, enjoying our natural environment, recycling, composting, preserving, and growing as much of our own food as possible. Chickens seemed a natural extension of our home garden, and when friends offered us 4 grown hens, we jumped at the opportunity. I hasten to say these are chickens, not roosters. My son David quickly built a handsome coop with a fenced-in yard. Not being experienced with chickens, there has been a learning curve. The fence had to be heightened because one of the hens figured out how to fly over the top. We enjoyed sometimes seeing the birds around the yard unfenced, but now realize that this is not practical or advisable. A couple of times neighbors told us that a chicken or two were over on the edge of our property eating new grass seed. They also ate 2 plantings, broccoli, and all our cauliflower. At least on one occasion, they crossed the road. A neighbor apparently commented on them, and a town employee from another neighborhood who was visiting thought she would be helpful by turning us in to the authorities. So I'm here asking that the town board schedule a public hearing to discuss extending chicken rights to R1 homes. Since we live on one of the original farm properties, it never occurred to us that our chickens would become illegals. Saratoga Springs allows chickens anywhere in the city. New York City allows chickens. Buffalo allows chickens. Chickens are allowed in R1 in some of the other Saratoga County towns. So why would not my rural town of Wilton allow well-kept backyard chickens? It never occurred to us. I did consider perhaps asking for a special permit or some kind of agricultural variance for our own property, but on second thought, it seemed better to try for a reasonable R1 chicken ordinance for all of would-be chicken owners in Wilton. The building inspectors have generously given me 30 days instead of the 5 days in the citation that we got a couple days ago to get rid of the chickens. But I'm hoping that you, the board, will consider scheduling a hearing and perhaps giving other Wilton residents a chance to voice their opinions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Betty, we'll look into that matter, okay? We'll look into looking at the code and what's the requirement is, okay?
Can we extend her 30-day
And the hearing?
hearing?
Well, the public hearing would be, it would happen after, if we decided to change the current code, then you would have to have a public hearing on that, but
So you're telling me that you would have to decide that a change would be a good thing before you had a public hearing?
yeah, you wouldn't have just a public hearing as to,
Would open discussion.
related to your particular situation.
Would an extension of the more than 30 days be allowed?
I think we need a discussion with our code enforcement officer and that, and we'll get back to you if that's possible, and, okay?
Thank you.
And we have Nancy Gatlin next.
Good evening. Last month, I said thank you so much for that wonderful splash park. Yesterday, I bring my granddaughter, and guess what? The splash park is not open. Why isn't it open? Because they're repairing it. At first, I said, okay, things break down, but upon talking to people, I find out that whatever was defective has been defective from day one. So my question is, number one, why wasn't it fixed before you opened? And number two, since it's been open for the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, why didn't you keep it open until the end of August and then close it after the kids went back to school so that the kids can use it? It really bothers me that we have these kids all over Wilton. There's nothing really much for them in Wilton as far as water goes. In fact, I don't think there is any. And now we have the splash park and it's closed. So I'd like to know why it was closed at this time.
I can tell you that it opened, and then we found the leaks, and the leaks were underneath the ground. They're not like the elements leaking, and it was going to potentially compromise underneath. It needed to be repaired.
Well, when was the leak found?
After it opened, and
So you waited till the middle of the summer?
What's going to damage what's created?
Underground, it's going to create a
Undermines the
hole.
concrete. It's going to cost, if the leak undermines the concrete, you lose
But what
everything.
I mean is, why wasn't it fixed immediately?
well, because you got to deal with the contractors and getting that. There was parts to be involved. It's just not as simple as just And you know, as it turns out, it was closed for basically, it was 3 days, it's reopened now.
They told me it was gonna open Friday.
Well, it's opening tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. There was 2 rainy days, it wouldn't have been open anyway. So the bottom line, it was really, we lost basically 2 days out of the whole thing.
Well,
But
what days would not have been open?
when it rains,
Monday it rained.
You're not open Monday?
No, we were open every day as long as the weather's good.
it rained Monday and Tuesday.
Well, it did rain Monday. This is true. It rained. Okay.
So now we got 2 more elements open, and the kids are gonna enjoy it that much more.
Okay, but it's all fixed or will be as of?
It's fixed. I got
If the contractors are on schedule, it'll be done, ready for tomorrow.
No, it was fixed yesterday, but they had to wait for the concrete and stuff to cure again, and that, so.
Oh, so now we're waiting for concrete to dry.
How long does that take?
Okay, we have the minutes pending from our July meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll put forth a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, any discussion or questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, we had the public hearing on 107 Gick Road. What action is required here, Mark?
Well, no action is required. No action is required. It depends if the town board wants to proceed and do anything about the building. You're not required to. You can if you wish.
So,
I'd like to make a motion that the town of Wilton held a public hearing on August 4, 2016 regarding property at 107 Old Gick Road, tax map number 140.2-16.2, in accordance with resolution number 121 of 2016, whereas the property owner was notified by certified mail, return receipt, the subject property was posted, and a notice of pendency was filed at Saratoga County in accordance with Town Law, Section 130, whereas no one appeared and no one correspondence was received on behalf of the owner of record, Brian Stanches. Be it resolved, the town of Wilton authorizes the demolition of the manufactured home, all necessary structures, site cleanup, removal of debris, and relevy the expense to the 2017 Saratoga County tax bill of the subject parcel.
well said.
I'll second that.
I have a comment. Maybe I'm missing something, but
Did I miss it?
the relevant
Yeah.
laws allow the owner 30 days from the date of the notice to commence the cleanup and 60 days to complete the cleanup. I thought that the notice date was no earlier than July 7th. And if that's true, then the 30 days haven't run yet.
Okay.
And if I'm right, the draft notice I saw was dated July 7th. I don't know if the notice was July 7th or was it some later date?
Do you know, Sue?
Mark's right here.
And Mark?
There were previous notices to the homeowner.
Right, but the notice that was sent on July 7th is the notice that was sent in accordance with Wilton Town Code Section 47 and Town Law Section 130, and that notice, unless it changed since the draft of it that I saw, says, appropriately says, if commencement of removal of the manufactured home and cleanup have not commenced within 30 days, and what I'm saying is that then it says the town of Wilton Town Board shall order to demolish and remove the structure and clean up the property, etc., as Councilman Stryker has just motioned. And what I'm saying is, unless I'm missing something, a notice was sent on or later than, but no earlier than July 7th, and if that notice did, and it should have, contain the language I just read about 30 days, then the 30 days hasn't run yet. That's my point.
All right, so can we do the resolution to commence after the 30 days?
Right, you can do the resolution just as Councilman Stryker read it, but I would strongly suggest that you add language to the effect that if removal and cleanup is not commenced by August 7th and not completed by September 7th, because they have 30 days later in which to complete it.
Okay.
So my suggestion, if you want to move forward, is to add to the proposed resolution, if removal and cleanup is not commenced by August 7th and completed by September 7th.
Okay, so you want me to say that if the cleanup is not done by August 7th and cleaned up by September...
It's not done by August 7th, not commenced by August 7th.
Commenced by August 7th.
And not completed by
And not
September
completed by
7th.
September 7th.
I think that's important, otherwise I don't think we're complying with the notice and the legal requirements.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay.
So the motion has changed to add what Steve has just said and council has just said, so we did have a motion, didn't we?
Right.
And John seconded.
And wait, second, so all in favor with the amended language per council?
Hi.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the next is committee reports. Anybody have any committee reports? Any committee reports?
Yes. Kurt approached me about a new truck for the town. Yeah, I went and looked at it. It's got some damage to the box. Quite expensive to repair it. I think he proposed to look at replacing the truck. It's one of our older trucks in the fleet. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with it. Do you have anything to add to the truck? I mean, the cost of fixing or repairing the older one?
I got the numbers, such as my liaison wanted me to do. I got, the numbers for a body is 46,000 and some change. The truck is a vehicle that was flipped over on Jones Road when it was brand new. It was repaired back at that time. And now the hydraulic portion of underneath the body is hooking up through the floor, and all of the stringers underneath is all rotted out, completely gone. Not all of them, but the bulk of them. My thing is a huge safety thing with this. When you put 20 ton of material on that, something happens, we're in big trouble. Mr. Lant looked at one of these a year or so ago. Remember that one you looked at was poked up through the floor?
Yes.
It's a similar situation, only it's a bigger truck. I proposed or gave him the numbers for another vehicle to replace that, and then I went on and told him about the lead time in order to be able to get a truck for the plow season. This is a frontline truck, plow truck, and what I'm being told by the people that I got our quotes from is we're looking at 3 or 4 months lead time just to get it built and get it here, and it takes another month or so to get the stuff put on it. So if we was to do something now, we might be able to have that truck to plow hopefully in January, because it's August now. But that's what I gave to my liaison to promote to the board. I would hope the board will do something on it, but if it doesn't happen, I don't have all alternatives, being that it is a frontline plow truck. That's pretty much what John and I discussed.
So it's 46,000 to repair, to put a new box in and to repair the hydraulic springs?
Well, it takes the old body right out of it.
Okay, so
And puts a new one on it.
so that would take care of all those
The
things.
truck is 14 years old, I believe.
Yeah, I've done the analysis on the truck. It's not worth repairing
Okay.
the truck. It's, my opinion is that we replace it.
Okay.
But there's a problem with where we're getting the money from, or where to take it out of.
Yeah. Kirk, is this one that you would have typically put in your 2017 budget for next year, or is...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That was my...
The comptroller, him and I talked about this, and I didn't get some exact numbers on a reserve, but whatever those numbers are, he might have them, I'm not sure of that. But my biggest thing is to make sure that we can complete our schedule in the wintertime, and it'll give me some lead time to get that accomplished.
Right, so it's a kind of like, well, whether we spend the money now or we put it into this 2017 budget, so this...
I think we should move ahead and get this going now, if it's gonna be his truck for the 2017 budget anyway.
Kirk, what's the number of large plow trucks you got right now?
Pardon me?
What's the number of large plow trucks you have right now?
13, I believe. 12 or 13.
What number of mid-size trucks you got for plowing?
What number, big size truck?
Mid-size.
Well, we got a bunch of six-wheelers, and this happens to be a tandem, okay? And you know the difference between that. I think we got 9 big trucks that we plow with all the time. We plow with 12 or 13 big trucks.
How many mid-size trucks you got? You just told me you had 13 big ones. You know, like 1 tons, 1.5. You got any of them?
The one
Those
ton,
550s?
I think on the 5,500 size, we got 3. And we plow with them all every snow.
You got 3 small pickups you plow with, or 2?
No plows.
The foreman's trucks don't have plows on them?
Who's?
Foreman's.
Yes. Yeah. I can put plows on them.
Do they have plows?
Do we have the plows? Yes.
You got 2 of them?
Yes.
18 trucks you got then, right now?
16.
If I had my sheet, I could tell you how many we do have. If you want to know all the plow trucks we have, yeah, I could give you that.
How many employees have you got? The plow?
20.
You got 20 full-time right now?
Yeah. We have to call in, normally if I don't have anybody off on, a full-timer, and, we start plowing, I usually use, how many part-timers? Probably 5. It depends on, the storm or whatever, there's a lot of variations there, but normally we use 5 or 6 wind plow people.
about it?
Make sure that we've got all of our
I think
areas
if it's
covered.
gonna come out
And if I
next
can't
year, we might as well just move forward.
part-timers,
We gotta have them.
then I have to,
He's got the money there, right?
leave something behind and go
Maybe
out
on the way.
and do the rest of the task. And we're around the.
If we don't do it now.
Oh, I know you are, Kirk, you do a great job.
About
Do a great job.
So you're looking for approval?
That's why I credit the foreman, they all do a great job, they know the crew's working.
Well,
But I do want to get a couple out of the fleet.
So, Kirk, we already approved another truck that you're gonna get when we get that grant from Senator Marchione. So this is, but that one's for Corinth Mountain Road.
yeah.
Right.
Well, that does the mountain area, Parkhurst, Gaylor, Prince Mountain Road, the mountain going up to prison, our regular mountain that goes up to there. That has its own designated area. And I guess Jeff has been working on that with the state. I did everything I could do. And the state, I'm being told by some of the people, the state it could be a year or 2 before you get that truck. So we got to go back to the four-wheel drive that we have that does the mountain now, and I mean it's 1993, I believe, and you got to have it up on that mountain. You can't have nothing.
And we discussed about getting rid of some other,
This year I'm sending 2 pickup trucks, the D4 dozer out of the gravel bank, and the old snow blower that's out in the shed. I'm sending them to the auction in the fall.
and we're going to replace the bus somewhere along the lines with
Yeah, well, that's another thing that the personnel director was talking to me about, is we've done it for a long, long time, and I guess we've had some issues with, the people that work in that old bus. It is an old bus, and is it falling apart? Yeah, it is, but, I mean, at least everything is contained in that. And I don't need nothing new for that bus situation, nothing new. I think John knows over on Route 7, they got a bunch of cube vans and stuff. What we're gonna do is move the shelves and stuff from the bus over into the potential, a 16-foot van or whatever you want, and then we can work with that. It's the safety of it and everything that's related to it is going to be much easier and much more usable. I mean, especially along the road and stuff, because the bus is, I guess, probably getting too big right now. But, so, and I don't need nothing new for that. We can use that.
a cube van. Okay.
So
And
Kirk
that's a
is,
very small number, that's.
What about the old blue bus, that's still out there, the ambulance?
The old blue bus, we don't have.
The ambulance, the ambulance, whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it.
we have that.
Is that going?
No, not right now. The old ambulance you're talking about has got compressors, torches, welders, toolboxes, jacks, everything. It's actually, it's a service vehicle, you know, in case we get a breakdown on the road, and we have used it, and used it plenty. And I kind of want to save that, and maybe in the future, someplace down the road, we can do that, but we haven't spent anything on that old, that for our service truck. We spent a couple of tires, I guess.
And the condition of that's good
It's
underneath?
still pretty good, yes, it is. Runs good, it's got air ride, it's got a lot of, I don't know how many $1,000 worth of stuff it's in it, but there's a lot of tools and equipment, and it's lockable. So I could leave it outside if I have to and lock it all up, and I don't have to worry about expensive equipment inside.
So Kirk, can we expect that when we see your proposed budget for 2017, there won't be any trucks in it?
There will be 2 small pickup trucks in that because I'm sending them to the auction in the fall. So our
Small
budget
ones.
number is going to be,
I've looked at them too.
Which little trucks you sending into the auction?
pardon me?
Which 2 trucks you sending to the auction?
I'm sending 5, 9,
Yeah, well, what are they? I don't know the numbers.
they're both Dodges.
That little Dakota?
Yep, it's going.
I thought we replaced that once.
No, we didn't replace that one. I run that out, put it in the shop, and I let it run out. The cemetery guys are using it, and it's gotta go. It's all rusted out. It was rusted out before. So I did.
Well, I thought that was the reason why we bought you a new one. We were gonna replace that. Because you said it was unsafe.
That was one of the reasons that we did do that, but instead of getting rid of that, I got rid of an F-250 Ford four-wheel drive. If you remember, truck.
The cemetery truck they got rid of.
Truck.
But they were supposed to get rid of the
Truck 1
Dakota.
and truck 1 and 13, John, we got rid of in place of that because they were worse.
So we're basically replacing the Ford that we actually replaced.
The one was unsafe, though, was still on the road.
The Dakota was,
Unsafe, but still on the
Unsafe,
road
so-
with a trailer.
but that'll be at budget time.
Can
Jeff,
I just say something, I guess? What I have to do is make a decision which one is the worst. And I'll bring this up, John, to you so you can understand what I'm trying to, tell you, is 1 and 13 were the 2 pickup trucks that we got after the fire in 2003, and they were told the cabs were gone. We repaired one of them, the cab on it, we put bodies on them in the process of their age, okay? So I had to make a determination. I understand and know that I told you guys that we had to get rid of that Dodge Dakota. I understand and know that. The problem was, is when we went back and analyzed that, we did an analysis on 1 and 13, them 2 pickups that were the Fords that we got after the fire, and it was determined that both of them were worse than what the Dodge was, so I got rid of the 2 worst ones and saved the Dodge to run it out a little bit more, and then, at some point in time, and this is year that we gotta do that. The budget for 2017, I would not, and I can give you some of that information right now.
that's okay, we don't.
It's all right. We've heard enough.
If we get rid of all that equipment that I'm telling you about now, I'm only looking at 2 pickup trucks and a compact roller for our job in 2017. That's it. So there's not $200,000 or $300,000 that the board is going to have to think about in 2017 if this is accomplished tonight.
Jeff, question for Jeff. If the board was to approve,
I'd like to move
purchasing
forward with this tonight.
Yeah, I just want to, if it's not going to be delivered to possibly in 2007, we still have to make the budget transfers now to,
Yeah, because you have to encumber the funds with the purchase order, so the budget would have to be in place.
okay.
And we're gonna,
So if we were to approve this tonight, we would need to do the transfers from either fund balance or some other highway accounts.
Well, I guess, do we know what the number is?
210 or 220?
Kirk, what was the price of that truck?
Pardon me?
What was the price of the truck that you want?
216 maybe, was it?
Yeah, it's got to go out to bid, or does that say contract? Does that say contract, or
Is
is
that
it?
up there?
No, it's
We're gonna
off of,
piggyback?
It's it's off an Onondaga,
Yeah, you're gonna
Oneida
piggyback.
County. We don't have to bid that, so there's no expense there. We can piggyback on another contract. And while I'm in that, I also found out today that roller that I just had mentioned, okay, that patch roller, that is on state contract, so we don't have to mess with any bids or anything on that for the 2017 budget. So that's going to save us some money. Good job.
All right, my suggestion would be, if you guys are gonna move ahead with this,
We have extra in the
because the
salt.
salt account, we didn't use that much at the beginning of the year, there's still $250,000 left in that account. I would recommend taking $100,000 out of the salt account, leaving $150,000 for the remaining of the year, and then moving the balance of $120,000 out of the fund balance that's in the highway fund.
Okay.
Because there is enough money in there to move that.
John, you recommending we act on this tonight?
I'm recommending that, but in that, I'd like to have that truck pulled right out of service. If it's...
If you feel it's unsafe,
If it's an
probably should.
If it's unsafe, it should be out of service.
You have no issues with that?
No, I don't think, I can't tell you how much snow we're going to get, but we've got a pretty good reserve in fuel, and we got a huge reserve in salt and sand. I don't need only maybe 50.
No, that's...
No.
That ain't the question.
The question is, if we approve this tonight, I'd like to have that truck taken out of service immediately,
I can do that.
because it's unsafe.
Yes, I can.
Okay. That was my only concern.
John, you want to make a motion
I'll
to...
make a motion, we approve taking $100,000 out of the salt reserve and $120 out of the, what was that?
The appropriate fund balance.
Appropriated fund balance.
I'll second
I
it.
want to thank the board for this sincere conversation. This is really the way, government should work. Thank you.
So, Steve, you
second it.
second it?
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions, discussion on it? Okay, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. John, do you see it?
Aye.
Okay, I didn't hear you, so, okay, all in favor, we did.
Thank you, Kurt.
Any opposed? No, so, thanks. Jeff, Controller's report?
Okay, mine's pretty simple. Budget amendment that I'm requesting the board to make. What happened here was, this is for the handicap playground, where the group that was donating the $30,000 for that playground paid it directly to the vendor, so I want to take it out of the budget so we don't spend it. It requires town board approval.
Someone like to move that?
I make a motion to remove the $30,000 out of the budget.
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, the next one, we have a current contract with the Wilton Fire District for the Kirk and his highway crew to plow the fire district over there. I spoke with Kirk today. He has no problem continuing the contract, so I'll make sure the board is still okay with moving forward with that contract.
Will he pay us?
$3,000.
2,000?
$3,000.
Oh,
I don't
3,000.
need a motion or anything, I just want to make
No, that sounds good.
informational. If everybody's okay with it, then
That's a good deal.
the contract's in place, it just renews automatically.
I have no problems with it.
Do we need to say motion?
He don't need a motion.
Okay.
The last one is just an annual board resolution I need. It's for the 2017 county sales tax distribution. Recommending that we take it in cash instead of credit.
I recommend it, too.
I need a resolution for that.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to take the cash.
I'll make a motion to take, the town takes the cash, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
That's it.
Okay, before we go into executive session, is there any other business the board wants to bring up?
Negative.
Okay, so we do need to adjourn to executive session. There are two personnel issues involving the performance of two particular individuals. Need a motion to adjourn to executive session?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to executive session.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.